Today, all eyes were on La Liga. All eyes were on Mbappe. All eyes were on Real Madrid. Ancelotti, what you going to do? How are you going to put this together? How are you going to make this team work? How is everyone going to adapt to Mbappe joining the team? Oh, this team that won the Champions League is only going to get better. They're not going to lose a game this season. Listen, they've already dropped points. All the talk is over. We're here now. This is real life. This is the season now. And already Barcelona has 2 points clear of the new and improved Real Madrid. And we're going to digest it and break it all down and talk about it all. Because I reacted to Barcelona's win. And I said when I saw their team on paper, I was like, ooh, that's not really that special of a starting 11. But they got the job done. They played Barcelona football. They got it done. And Real Madrid's lineup, you look, they said, ooh, that's a good team. And they didn't get the job done. And the reason they didn't get the job done is because I think Ancelotti got a few things wrong, and we'll talk about it. And I'm not blaming Ancelotti in any way, shape, or form, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the things that were done right and the things that were done wrong and what I think needs to be done. So let's begin with, let's not begin with Mbappe. Let's begin with what I think is going to be the biggest and the hardest hole for Real Madrid to fill this season. His name is Toni Kroos. We can talk about it over and over and over and over and over. And I know they got Camavinga. I know they got Tchouaméni. I know they got Valverde. I know they got amazing midfielders, but they don't got Toni Kroos, okay? And you can have amazing midfielders, but there is no Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos is different. Toni Kroos was Himothy. Toni Kroos is like Schweinsteiger or Ballack or Luka Modric, right? Now he's older. Xavi, Iniesta. These type of players are not replaceable. These are players that you can get someone to fill their role, but they're not replaceable. And what they do in the 90 minutes of a football match is not replaceable. And Real Madrid noticed that today. And although they got Mbappe in the front and Vinny and Jude Bellingham and all this amazing stuff going on up front, nothing really changed in the middle of the park or in the back. And I know we'll be like, well, it was good enough to win the Champions League. They don't got to change nothing. It's true. They don't really have to change anything. But let's move away for Toni Kroos. We'll come right back. This back line doesn't have a crazy amount of playing time together from last year because they dealt with so many different injuries, players in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Carvajal really being the only guy that was there a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even Courtois getting back to playing time. I mean, you saw there was some times where he looked a little bit shaky. He missed the whole season. So there's a lot going on in Real Madrid's back line. You move to the midfield, you're still looking for Toni Kroos. Realistically, you're looking for someone to fill Toni Kroos' spot. And if I'm being honest with you, you might be even looking for somebody to fill Modric's spot, right? Modric is in that starting 11, and you need that, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, like, boom. Like, do we know for sure that it's going to be Valverde and Tchouaméni? Are they going to be the ones that run away with this in the midfield behind Jude Bellingham? Are they going to be the for sure starters? Are they the answers for Real Madrid? We know how great Valverde is. We know how great Tchouaméni is. There's no question about the talent and how great they are. I'm just saying, without Toni Kroos there no more, are they fine? Like, is this midfield going to be able to, help enough defensively and offensively? What do I mean by that? Real Madrid's defense looked terrible. Like, if I'm being real with y'all, they could have lost this game today. That's facts. Real Madrid fans might not want to admit it, but they could have lost this game. As easily as they could have won it, they could have lost it. That's just absolute facts. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a lot to really peel back and figure out with that midfield of Madrid. And I'm not saying they're overhyped. I'm not saying that they're not good enough. This team is a Champions League winning midfield, bro. I'm just saying Toni Kroos is a leader and Toni Kroos is a general, right? Toni Kroos is the type of player that he's a coach on the field, right? He's a manager on the field, and you don't have that no more. Now you got a younger Valverde, a young Tchouaméni, young Camavinga when he's there, young Jude Bellingham. You no longer have that leader in Toni Kroos that's kind of gelling everything together. And in my opinion, that's a really big deal. We'll fast forward a little bit to the front of the field. Rodrigo's still doing Rodrigo type things. Needs more respect. One of the best attacking wingers, forwards in world football. The guy is unbelievable. I know Vinny gets all the looks and Jude Bellingham gets all the looks, and now Mbappe's going to get all the talk about. But Rodrigo is crazy, and if he ever leaves Madrid, which I hope he doesn't, but if he does, any team's going to be lucky and blessed to have a player like him because he is beyond great. He is phenomenal, and we don't talk more about him at a crazy high level because it's kind of like in no way, shape, or form do I think any of these players are Messi, okay? But y'all remember when Neymar, and I'm not comparing Rodrigo to Neymar neither, I'm just saying, y'all remember when Neymar kind of wanted to leave Barcelona to kind of get out of Messi's shadow so people would talk about him more? That's kind of why he left. He wanted to have his own team. He wanted to have his own thing. He wanted to be that guy, right? And it's kind of like Rodrigo. We don't talk about Rodrigo as that guy because he's in the shadow of Vinicius Jr. He's in the shadow of now Jude Bellingham. He's going to be in the shadow now of Mbappe. He's in the shadow, yet he's cooking. He's him, right? He's that guy. He's doing it, man. He's doing it big, but we don't talk about him enough. He was amazing. Vinicius Jr. had his sparks. I think he was involved a lot. Obviously, Vinny is Vinny. But here's the deal. Mbappe's there now. And with Mbappe there, Jude Bellingham might not be as up the field as he once was, right? And Mbappe's trying to find his way in this team. That game, that Super Cup against Alantia, that was kind of like a fairy tale, it was a dream start for Madrid, right? And then you kind of fall into what's La Liga and what's football in league level. When you play for City, when you play for Real Madrid, when you play for Benfica, Porto, and Sporting in the Portuguese league, the smaller teams are going to play a certain way that doesn't allow you to play the way you want to play. And then you get hit with a terrible field. I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you what it is. That field today, that grass was awful. It wouldn't be good for any team that likes the ball rolling, a Barcelona, Real Madrid, a Man City, any team that likes fast pace. And there was players slipping everywhere, ball bouncing everywhere. The field wasn't good. But this is La Liga. This is the Portuguese league. This is the Italian league. This happens. This is, you go to those smaller stadiums and you got to find a way to dig these wins out. That's how you win La Liga. This is those games. And they got that today. And Mbappe got introduced very quickly to what La Liga is. And it was a really, really tough game. I think Mbappe needs to find his way and find how he's gonna fit with these players because of you, Mbappe, Jude Bellingham's coming back a little bit. And now, you need this to all still flow. You need Jude Bellingham to still get massively involved in the offense. You still need Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. to do what they were doing last year, but you need to find a way to get Mbappe doing Mbappe type things. And sometimes, there's so many great players on the team that, no one knows who's shooting. Right? Who's taking it? Somebody do something. Take a shot. Like somebody, who's going to take the shot? Do I cross? Do I shoot? Do I pass? Do I shoot? You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when there's a lot of great players. I'm not saying that this is going to be a problem. No way, shape, or form. Real Madrid's going to be great. I really, truly believe that. But I just think that they're going to go through the growing pains of learning how to play with each other. You don't just get a player and practice together for 2 months. And remember, they had the Euros, so Mbappe got there not long ago. Vinny with Copa America. All these players had things going on this summer. Jude Bellingham was in the final of the Euro. These players were not working together loads. It's gonna take a while for this to gel, right? It's gonna take a bit longer for this to really come together and build pieces. And a lot of Barcelona. What's great for Barcelona is a few of their players weren't at the Euro competitions. Obviously, Yamal and stuff, but a lot of them weren't, so they had more time to work with this manager, which is a really, really big blessing, right? And I'm talking about certain players. We know Conde was there. We know the certain players were there, but there was a few that weren't at European competitions or the Copa America and had a bit more time to work and gel with the new manager, which was important. And I think for Real Madrid, they didn't have as much time with Jude Bellingham, Vinny, Mbappe, and these guys being together. So it's noticeable. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that's really not for me that's noticeable was, again, that defense did not look good. And it's a year of a lot of them not playing together. But they got to sort that out quickly because if that defense leaves holes like that against Barcelona, you're gonna get smacked. You can't leave holes against any big team. So Real Madrid has some stuff to clean up. Mbappe obviously needs to learn how to play with his teammates quickly. and adapt to them very fast. And again, bad field, not a good a team. Here's another thing I want to say really quickly. We're just neutral or like fans watching the game, and we're like, look at this mega Real Madrid, right? When you're a mega Real Madrid or a mega Barcelona, do you know how bad the other team wants to beat you? Right? Because you're the team that beat the mega team. You're the team that stopped them. It's extra motivation. These smaller teams, no disrespect to any team, I'm not meaning, but every team is a little bit smaller than Real Madrid and Barcelona and stuff. It's just how it is, right? They don't got those caliber of players. When you like these teams, they get that extra bit, a little bit of, oh, y'all the big boys? Oh, y'all the sheriffs in town? Watch what we gonna do to you. We gonna watch what we gonna do to you. And that you could see that, bro. And that's gonna be like that week in, week out for Real Madrid. It's gonna be like that for Barca too. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be like that week in, week out. You got Mbappe. Oh, watch this. And that's what it's gonna be like. So again, they're gonna have to fight harder. You saw the frustration. Mendy gets a stupid red card. Real Madrid cannot have players doing dumb stuff like that. That's stupid, especially when the defense already lacking and slacking. Now you got Mendy missing a game for a direct red. I don't know if La Liga does like 2-game suspensions for a direct red. I don't know. I know the Premier League does that thing. I think Premier League gives a couple game suspension. I don't know if that's going to happen with Mendy. Mendy went in with a stupid tackle. But at the end of the day, lads, Real Madrid has a lot of stuff to fix, and they're lucky Ancelotti's the coach because he'll work it out. By the way, remember, new formation. Last year, they weren't running this. They were kind of doing more of a diamond thing last year. This year, they're not. They're doing a little bit something different. It's going to take some time for all this to gel. Ancelotti didn't have as much time with the players. I think this team's going to be fantastic, but I think they're going to go through their growing pains. It's not going to be all sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go through a hard time, in my opinion.